Hi, it's Kathy Ramos, and I have the reflection for January 6th, the Solemnity of the Epiphany of the Lord. And in the readings today, I will discuss a little bit of a cultural heritage mixed in with the readings that I find. It's traditionally the day of the arrival of the three kings, although it is often celebrated on the Sunday right after the 1st of January. We find that the arrival of the three kings to the place of Jesus's birth, bringing with them gifts, the three gifts that identify Jesus as their king, and something that, being of Italian descent, I can say was a very celebrated holiday in my household growing up, and something that as a mother I became very attached to, and as a Catholic always looking for a deeper conversion, became more and more meaningful the older I got. And in my frame you'll see a doll that I bought Francesca when she was very little. It's a doll straight from Corleone, Sicily, where my family is from. And it is a story of the witch, or as known in Italian as La Befana. La Befana is a folk tale that is mixed with maybe a cultural anthropology standpoint, and there are several stories of her, but the one that we hold on to in my family is the story of an old woman who was cleaning her house and cooking, and the night that the beautiful star appeared in the sky, and as she was sweeping out her house and sweeping out everything through her front door, she encountered three kings. The three kings asked her for directions on where to find the Christ child, and she invited them in to talk about where they were going and how she could help them, and offer them food and a nice place to stay for the night. And because they were so impressed with her kindness and her generosity to them, that they asked her to come with them to go meet the new king. And she declined their offer, as she wanted to continue to clean her house, which is why the broom is there in her hand. And if you notice the sack at the bottom, it symbolizes the gift that she never got to bring to the Christ child that day, and that she spends the rest of her life searching and searching for children to bring gifts to that are in replacement of the child that she did not go to see, who is Jesus. So it is such a meaningful thing for me when I reflect on that, again, not just from a cultural or anthropology point of view or a heritage point of view for me, but something that I contemplate my own shortcomings in my faith. And the Epiphany is one of those times, as like it during the Passion of the Christ that we do during Lent, in preparing for both things for Jesus, I often find myself wondering, would I have known if I was there then? Would I have known? Isn't it a blessing that I have the advantage of hindsight, being born when I was born and not having to answer that now? Would I have known that that star was for him? Would I have known that that baby was him? Would I have known that the man that walked on water that we will read in today's gospel was not a ghost, but it was him? Would I have known? Would I have agreed to go with the three kings? Or would I have been the Italian witch who searches and searches for the child, the king child that she never met? It is this that drives me to keep the tradition of the Feast of the Epiphany with my children. Again, not just because of the story and the heritage of an Italian person, but the value in always reminding myself and hopefully reminding them to search always for a deeper conversion, a deeper faith, a faith that allows you to release the worry and the fear, and a faith that allows you to know that it was him. It was always him. The star was for him. The baby was him. There's a song that we often sing in Advent and when we celebrate Christmas, the Mary Did You Know? It's a beautiful song just from a musical point of view again, but to take away just the difficulty of the song itself and music and theory, but to know that Mary, did you know that when you kissed that little baby, you kissed the face of God? Why I'm so drawn to Mary all the time in prayer and reflection is because she knew, she always knew. She knew that her faith in God replaced any fear and doubt that she ever had. Not that she didn't experience those, but they were moments. She didn't live in that place. And she always loved. And one of the things that we find in today's gospel is the idea, and in the readings from John and Mark, that Mary personifies the idea of one who fears is not yet in perfect love. I think that's unfortunately sometimes where I fall, but that God is love, and whoever remains in love remains in God and God in him. She always knew that her faith was bigger than any fear that she could encounter. The kings knew. They always knew that that star was meant for him. So I want to be more like them as I reflect upon this time, and maybe a little less like her, who maybe let fear and worry take the places in her heart that should have been filled with pure love. And during this time after the Epiphany, I always pray for a deeper conversion, to find myself without fear and in what is true love.